Charlo speaking here. Announced earlier today that you'll be stepping down as the head coach of Whitehaven Rugby League after 3 seasons. Still remaining within the club, you'll be taking up a role just a bit upstairs in the Director of Rugby and still remaining a part of the team down here at the LEL Arena. But it's been a fantastic 3 seasons. You've described some of the moments as some of the best within Rugby League, and you've had a fantastic career as a player and as a coach. So some fantastic times down at the LEL Arena, but after 3 seasons, you're calling it day as a coach. Why now?
I just think it's time. I just think it's time for a bit of new blood to come in, and hopefully take it further than what we've done this year. Don't get us wrong. I think we've had an excellent season, but I just think sometimes when you're a coach, you just sometimes think you get sick of hating yourself all the time, and you just get sick of speaking and all that. And I've just come to the point where I've just thought, yeah, it's about my time. But maybe took them as far as we possibly can, and hopefully the next person that comes in can kick them on even further.
So you'll remain within the club, as we've mentioned, as a director of rugby. What sort of a role or what sort of impact do you see yourself having in that role?
Yeah, well, I'll work with Ashley Kilpatrick and Mark Stamper in sourcing players that we think are good enough to come into Whitehaven and within a budget. So I'm really looking forward to that challenge because it's something that interests us.
Obviously, as we sit now, we're only 2 games away from the end of the championship season. We still have a role within the playoffs, and we've discussed it quite a few times. Over the last few weeks, as sort of our championship status was confirmed, and obviously where we are in the last few weeks and the fantastic run of form that you've been on. That we all look back at that conversation we had for our virtual launch night at the start of pre-season, and all said we were looking forward to getting the season back underway, but we were understating what our aims were. Maybe not understating, but we knew what our aims were to keep this club and keep Whitehaven in the championship. And obviously you've done that with yourselves and Jonty and the rest of the coaching staff and the players have done a fantastic job. So, I mean, what has this season been like for yourself? And obviously that your boys have risen to the challenge and overstepped what was all expectations.
Well, first things first, I think our boys have been exceptional. I think we've pushed them to limits in that pre-season that they probably haven't been pushed to. And it all kicked on from there. We were a tight-knit bunch, we all stick together. When they go out, they all go out together, and you can see that when they play. They've been absolutely brilliant, their effort, their enthusiasm, their commitment, second to none. They're a great bunch to be around as well, and then we've got the coaching staff, which have been absolutely brilliant, over the years. There's been Jonty, there's been Scott Macker, there's been Quayle, Kevin H has come in now to help us out. They've been absolutely great, and over the 3 years I've had at Whitehaven, it's probably some of the best times I've had in rugby league.
You mentioned there's some of the best times you've had in rugby league, and of course that first season, the memorable season, the 2019 season. Obviously there was the whether won't you be there for that Coventry game, of course, and obviously you had a pre-booked arrangement, but you decided to put that back, and obviously we got the result on that day. Just talk us about your memories of that sort of week and your decisions you made before that Coventry game, and obviously the after party after it as well.
Yeah, the hardest part of that week was telling some of the lads that they weren't playing in that game. The rest of the week seemed to fly in. We knew what we had to do. We knew what was expected of us. We needed to go and put a show on, and I think on the day I think we played some real good rugby, and we were going to be hard to beat that day. Whoever we played, we were going to be really hard to beat because them lads wanted it. They wanted to go into the championship and go up as champions. So, and that's all down to the hard work that them fellas have put in right through the pre-season, right through the games and all that. They're exceptional in 2019. They worked hard. Everything you could ask of a rugby player, we got out of them that year.
And obviously, last year was obviously curtailed, but I think we've seen what championship was going to be like, and what was tough. What was them 5 or 6 games like? I mean, your boys and yourselves as a coaching staff really got an introduction to what championship rugby was going to be like.
Oh, it was eye opener. It was eye opener for some of our boys. We found out that if we made one mistake in this league, it was going to get punished, and that's what happened to us in a few of them games. We competed in 2 or 3 of them, but we were still short, of where we needed to be. I think we knew that as coaching staff. I think the players knew that, and they knew as soon as it got curtailed that when we did come back in, we had to be a lot better and a lot fitter and a lot sharper, and we had to do that little bit extra to get us where we needed to be, and and they have done. They've been absolutely brilliant. Our boys, every player that's done the White Evans shirt has been great. I can't credit them enough.
And of course, the season isn't over just yet. Obviously, we welcome Halifax this weekend. And what will be your last home game as coach? And also another, I think, legend is the right word to use, in club legend. And Jesse Joe Parker, it'll be his last home game for the club. Just a word on Jesse, what he has brought to the squad, and obviously to Whitehaven in what, nearly 9 years, nearly 10 years since he's been at the referee.
Jesse's been absolutely brilliant over the 3 years that I've been here. He's been great. It all comes to a time where we get a little bit older and our legs don't seem to move as fast. And it's good. We're probably playing in the hardest championship that we've had for a long time. But I can't say enough about Jesse Joe Parker. He's been absolutely brilliant with me. And when you were coaching against him years ago, we talk about, who do we have to stop, or who do we have to, who's going to be the main player that come, and it was always Jesse Joe Parker, Joe Parker, and that's how he's regarded by coaches and opposition players. He's in high regard, and it's his testimonial this year, and we'd like everybody to come out and really support it.
And another word on Jesse, that not many players will have done the nearly 12,000-mile journey as he will have done. Landed when he's made his debut for the club, it was around the Easter weekend, the Easter period. He made his debut off the bench in a Good Friday game, but he'd only been in the country around about 24 hours and come off the bench that day. I think it just shows what it means to Jesse, and not only Jesse, obviously the Papua New Guineans, what rugby league means to them. And Jesse's always shown that in his commitment and his passion within the squad, but also the work he's done in the community. There's always social media posts about how Jesse's, he's just walking by and there's some kids playing rugby and he'll go and join in, and there's some hips and chicks, and so I think it just shows not only, like you said, what the Papua New Guineans rugby league does mean to them, but especially what it means to Jesse and what commitment he has shown over the last few years.
As you said before, Jordan, Jesse Joe Parker is a legend round here. All the fans and all the players love him. And you can't say any more about him. He's everything that we asked of Jesse. He's been absolutely brilliant. He's been professional with, and I want the people of Whitehaven to come out and really support this fella, because he's done our club really proud.
And just goes back to yourself. You've had it hasn't all been rosy since you took over at Whitehaven. Obviously, we've had the promotion, but when you first come into the club was still within special measures, so there was that to deal with, and then there's obviously been upheaval this season. And you have mentioned into your comments that you'd like to thank all of the board members they've supported yourself in the past, but I don't think people will realise the amount of off the field work that goes into bringing the stuff on the field. And so it hasn't all been rosy, but what memories are you going to take away from, finally just this 3-year period as coach of your hometown club?
Well, as you said before, George, the 2019 championship winning run that we did, all the people that's been involved with Whitehaven, all the coaches that are out, there's John T, Scott Macker, Barry Quayle, they've been absolutely brilliant. And the biggest person that runs the show down there, Des Byrne, is unbelievable. Des is Mr. Whitehaven, and if we have a problem or we need anything sorted, we go to Des, because we know he's going to get done. But the board members that are there now are absolutely brilliant with us. They've been great, and I can only see this club getting stronger. I can only see us getting bigger and stronger, but we need the support of the terraces. If people come down and watch the type of rugby that we're playing at present, I think they'll be pleasantly surprised. We're playing some excellent stuff, and as I said, the more supporters we can get down here, the further we can take this club.
Charlo, thank you very much. Good luck in the remaining 2 games, and obviously we'll catch up over the next few weeks as wherever the season is, and hopefully may even go a little bit longer. Obviously, we don't know the situation with the playoffs, but thank you very much for catching up with us this evening. Thank you very much for all you've done for Whitehaven Rugby League, and of course, speaking to me on numerous occasions, giving up your evenings as you've done, and after training sessions hanging about. So it's always much appreciated for myself and post games. But good luck in your new role in Director of Rugby. Good luck for the rest of the season, and thank you very much. Thanks,
Jordan. Just a quick mention to them fellas that that passed away. We've lost Jimmy Clem and we lost Vic. 2 astounding individuals, and sadly missed, and especially missed by me and all the coaching staff and the people at the club.
Here. Thank you very much, Charlo.
Cheers, John.